Greetings. I know you're ready to get to work in WordPress and launch WAMP server and start working on the local host and doing all kinds of cool stuff. But before we do that, I think it's important that we take a look at WordPress from the user's perspective, particularly those of you who've never used WordPress or seen WordPress. It would be advantageous for you to see how it works. Because honestly, on the local host, when you set up WAMP server or MAP server, you can't interact with others. I mean, you can create posts, but you have to reply to yourself, and that's boring. So what we're going to do for a short period of time is I'd like you, if you haven't already done so, set up your own WordPress, or should I say register for wordpress.com and set up a sandbox, which you can play in for a little bit just to see how it's supposed to work. I don't want you to use this as your final site, but just a place to initially get yourself oriented and to play around. So you can add posts, and I'll have you reply to one another later next week or in the coming days, and you can see how WordPress works. If you already have a WordPress site, don't worry about doing that, especially if you're familiar with the basics, and we'll move forward in the coming days and weeks. We'll revisit our sandbox now and then, but shortly after we'll set up and install WordPress on the local host using either MAP server or WAMP server, and we'll look at the details of how this application functions. If you have any questions, post your questions to the questions forum, and have fun.